What I've learned so far is that because I am using the 2016 version,
Okay.
what I've noticed is that some function from, let me say, from home tab and the formulas are the same. Like the auto sum, there's auto sum in the formula and there's auto sum in the home tab,
Okay.
the response.
Was the Excel you downloaded, was it the one Chris posted on the YouTube channel?
No,
I was not
sorry?
Cindy, I'm hearing you.
Yes, I heard on the group that we can use the 2016 version.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank
Okay. No problem. Any other question? Did you notice anything? I'm
I was
hearing. How familiar are you now? Okay. Kiki, I'm hearing you.
okay. I tried downloading the version, loaded it successfully, but I wasn't an error message, and I reported that on the platform. Then from the assignment, I learned how to expand the cells so it could accommodate some of my uses of those ribbons. So I learned how to move from one column to the other.
Oh, okay. That's good. That's the point of the assignment. Because if you actually did the assignment, there are some things you discover yourself. And the best thing about this thing is that if you're doing some things yourself, you will get familiar with it and you will learn easily. At this point, I'll be handing over to Chris. He'll be continuing with data entry and Chris will be taking over. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Happiness. Thank you, Kiki. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Jonathan. Good evening, everybody. I'm sorry for joining you late. I had a quick meeting that I had to, attend to. So I want to know why a lot of you did not do your assignments. Out of 44, we have only 20 submission, except for 2 persons that actually took permission from me that they are not able to submit. I think I can see Lynn. Lynn said she couldn't send it through the Google link, so it was recorded actually. Then Billy, Cindy Way. Okay, Cindy Way, she told me she not able to submit because she was feeling sick today actually. So that is 22. Then what happened to the other 22 people? Please, is there anybody here that did not submit to have all the record? I wouldn't have to come and start.
Yeah.
Is there anyone that didn't submit and they have reasons to? Please, we cannot tolerate you not submitting your assignment. What's your reason, sir?
My problem was I was the one who told you that I have a problem with installing the Microsoft Office.
Okay, you haven't installed it.
Yeah, I followed the one that you posted in the group, but I still couldn't install it.
Okay, no problem. We will handle that. Maybe tomorrow is Sunday. You're not working tomorrow, right?
Yeah, tomorrow I'm free.
Oh,
I'm
great,
free tomorrow.
great. We'll be able to tackle that tomorrow with you. Yeah. Then please, any other person, we cannot tolerate you not submitting because that's the only way we get to know that you are. Please go ahead, Makochku. Unmute
Okay,
yourself
sir.
and go ahead, yeah.
Okay, sir. I did the assignment quite all right, but I wasn't able to upload it through using the link you sent on group. So
Why?
that's why I had to send it through our WhatsApp group.
What time did you do it? Because the link stopped working around 2 p.m.
Yeah, actually, I sent it, I think, 3 minutes to before 12 p.m.
Okay.
I was finding it easy to navigate through.
Listen, as a data analyst, you're a tech professional. So submitting is an assignment online. This thing is not, you're not just learning data analysis, you're learning all around tech. Submitting assignment online, like I saw someone that commented that she's not able to submit online through the link for no reason. Like she just said she cannot submit through the link and she now sent it to my inbox. So if you're having a technical error, you're supposed to troubleshoot to know what the problem is. Imagine you're working in your office and your office people are relying on you as a data analyst or as a tech person, and you're supposed to handle a task online for them. Then you now say you cannot submit assignment online or you cannot do it. You're supposed to troubleshoot. You're troubleshooting or you seek for solution. Please, Mr. Kingin, can you keep quiet? Okay, let me mute everybody. So you are supposed to actually either seek for solution, seek for help. We are a team here, right? We are a team. You're working in a team. You're also learning how a lot of soft skills. It's not just about the technical skill. You're learning a communication skill. You're learning leadership skill. You're learning teamwork. You're working in a team. So let me mute everybody because I see that you are. You'll be able to unmute yourself. Okay, good. So all of these things are the things you're learning. If you're not able to submit your assignments, you are supposed to get back to the group, seek for help. Is either you message me or look for somebody that will help you to solve that particular problem. Apart from the people that are not able to install Excel, which we are going to fix tomorrow with them, I'm going to work one-on-one with them to fix their Excel and make sure it is installed. So please, we will not tolerate you not submitting your assignment. It's not possible. If for any reason, I mean, you had enough time to do this thing. If for any reason, even if you cannot do it all, make sure you do something and submit so that we can see your weaknesses and be able to assess you, be able to reach out to you to know what the problem is, to know where you're having issue and carry you along. You get, because time is running. At the end of the day, we'll graduate everybody. And if you're not good enough for yourself, it's going to be really bad for you. So please take every opportunity you get to improve on your skill, to improve on yourself, to improve on, all of these things. So we are not expecting perfection from anybody. I went through the assignment. I saw all the things you did. Some persons were, they did it. Some person used PDF, some used Excel, some used all manner of things, some wrote a lot of things, and it was really nice. It was fun going through them and understand the major concerns. Some people did not know how to enter data into Excel. They were kind of struggling with it, and I saw that. And some people were really nice. I saw some of you, your PDF was really good. Like I give you 100 because you really tried. But however, it is allowed. Just come the way you are, then you learn. And that's why we're going to be also talking about data entry today. All right. So let's jump into the class and get it done. So today we are going to talk about Excel properly. But before that, I remember we stopped somewhere last time. We stopped at form of gathering data. We already talked about structured and unstructured data. So in fact, all through the class in Excel and in Power BI and in SQL, we are going to be dealing with mostly structured data, okay, tables, because you really cannot we don't have any business. We are not dealing with videos or that. If we want to use video at any point, we also know how to put that, bring that in and create a data type for it. So we're going to be cutting across data type, entering data and all of that tonight. So we talked about data analysis process. So I mentioned to you last time that the first way is to gather data. Before you start working on any project, you must have to gather your data. Is that your data is given to you in your office, maybe a Excel file. Like there's a guy that works with Nigerian Custom. He's my guy. We did training together. So he used to get project from his office, but he doesn't really know, and it's like he's not able to do them. So he always send them to me to walk through it together. Is that I tell him what to do, show him what to do, how to do, go about it, or I just do it for him and send it to him. So currently he has some project that he sent from his office. So your office could actually send you data set to work on that is gathering. You could be the one that will go out, like if you're working in health data, like if you're working in a health environment, most times They could be doing medical clinical trials, they could be doing patient treatment and all that. So sometimes you have to be the one that will go and get all of this data. Sometimes you could be getting data from a website, scrapping, web scrapping, and so many other ways. Sometimes you may even have to query a database to get your data. So gathering data is basically getting data from variety of sources, either downloading manually, programmatically, scraping the web, performing survey, accessing an API, or even connecting to the database through your SQL to get data. So the different means require different tools. Any which one, if you're using, for example, if you're doing questionnaire, you have to, maybe print out a questionnaire, to go around, give people the paper to fill, or send an online link like the one that you've been doing. You send that thing you fill, that assignment you submitted is a form of questionnaire. They ask you question, put your name, put your email, put your phone number, put your location, put your date of birth, put your opinion, put your comments. That is a questionnaire. It can be in any form and all that. So that is, so any way that you're trying to use to gather data, you have to use the right tools for it. But we'll get to all of that. We'll get data like I promised you last time. I'm just trying to recap what we did. So these are the various forms of data gathering. Then data cleaning. This is the part that takes up 80% of every data analyst time. You have to spend a lot of time cleaning. In fact, this is where the main job is, because whatever data you gather or you get or you receive, you cannot work with it like that. You must have to clean that data for you to be able to work with it and get reasonable result. So because unclean data is very dangerous and could often cause misleading conclusion. Obviously, imagine I give you a wrong information. If you tell me that you're going to maybe number 22 Crescent Street in Lekki, and then I'll now give you an address that's going to lead you to Oshodi, that's very dangerous, because I've misled you. I'm going to be misleading you, and I'll be taking you somewhere far away. And if you follow that information that I give you, you will never get your destination. That is how dangerous working with a dirty or unclean data is. You must have to know how to clean your data. Make sure you maintain data integrity and accuracy. I'm going to explain all of this time before you begin to work with your data, okay? It is therefore necessary to clean data to make it trustworthy and stable for analysis. So there are 3 basic rules when you're cleaning data. There are 3 basic rules, which I am going to show you shortly when we open a data set. So number 1 rule is that each variable must form a column. Number 2 rule, in fact, this is an interview question. I went for a certain interview. This question came up. How do you maintain data integrity and accuracy? It's always there in every question that you go for, any data analysis question. How do you maintain data accuracy and integrity? So number 1 is that each variable must form a column. So let me open an Excel file so that you can be able to see these things first hand. I don't know, my Excel is not coming up. I think I'll have to collapse this one. And then, please bear with me. This thing is not coming up. I open a lot of data. Order. Okay, look at it here. So we're going to be working with this data enable. So you can see that rule says each column must form each column like this. This is a column. Remember what we did last time, right? You still remember that this is a column, this is a column, all these ones are column, and this is row, right? This is row, this is row. So how do I go back? The cap lock. So each column must contain each column that you see now must contain a unit of information. That is, this column is talking about customer name, right? This column is talking about customer name. So what you must see here from beginning till the end of this column must be customer names. You cannot come here and see customer's age or gender or any other thing. Each of this column, that is where you can see that it is aligned, it is structured. Remember, this is structured data. So it is properly structured. Here is containing other numbers. So you must be other number till the end. You cannot come to the middle and you begin to see customer's name instead of other number. Once you see that, it means that the data is unclean. You need to clean it up, right? That is what constitutes data cleaning. So this place is talking about customer's gender. So everything you must be seeing here has to be male, female, or any other type of gender that is available in that data set. Because sometimes if you're working for a data set that are coming from those Western countries like the US or the UK, you can see more than two gender. Then this particular row contains city. So each column must have to contain a unit of information. Then rule number 2 is that each row must be talking about a variable, like must be talking about one information. That is what it means. Like this is row 1. Row 1 is talking about Lindsay Fagen. This is the person's name. She's a female. This is her customer ID, and this is her order number. So we will still get to foreign keys and primary key when we get to tables, okay? I will still explain how all of these IDs are getting. So this is order ID, this is customer ID. So order ID is like when you get into, it's like your registration number in the office where you work. You definitely have your own unique number. It's not your name. Some companies or some schools do not call student by their name. Like you have something like a reg number. So each student must have one reg number all through their time in that school. All right. So each order that is placed will have an order number. That is what you're going to use to track that order. Then you also have the customer ID. This customer number now is for this customer. Then the female, this gender is for this customer. New York is the city of this customer. USA is the country of this customer. So now this phone number is the phone number of this customer. If you scroll down, you see that every information in this first row is talking about this one customer. You cannot come here now and see that, okay, this is a female. You now come here and say the person is from Tokyo when the person is from China. So each row like this must be talking about must be addressing one particular customer or one particular entity or one particular product if it's a product table. Each row. So since we have, let's see how many rows we have here. Since we have 502 rows, it means that we have 502 customers. If we have 502 rows, it means that we have 502 customers. All right. Are we right? Yeah, good. Because it's starting from 1. So each row must contain information about one entity, while each column must form the same entity must be talking about one particular identifier. Then the third rule, there are 3 rules to maintain data integrity and accuracy. The third rule says that each table must be talking about something. So this could be a transaction table. So, but don't bother yourself about this. With time, you get to, when we begin to work with different data sets, you get to understand it. So this is a transaction table because you can see amount, revenue, you can see expenses, you can see profits, you can see selling price. So it's definitely talking about products like transaction, right? So this is a transaction table. Sometimes you can have a health table. Sometimes you can have a customer's table that has only the customer's name, the customer's detail, and all that. So, and then also each column must have a data type. Like a data type means we'll see talk about data type here, don't worry. So this is basically how to maintain data integrity and accuracy, all right? So that's what we're trying to talk about here. when we talk about data cleaning, that your data, each variable must form a column. Remember when we talked about the customer's name, it was only name that we saw there. That is the meaning of each variable must form a column. That each observation must form a row. That is, each row must be an observation about one particular customer. Everything about them, their name, their age, their country, their streets, their address, the product they bought, the amount they bought, the quantity they bought. Do you get? Then each observation unit must form a table. So we'll get to that. So introduction to Excel. So we are done with data cleaning. I believe you understand that. The third one is visualization. So the major work, like I said earlier, is that you must have to know how to clean your data. Then the third one is visualization, which is not really a big deal. It's just about creating dashboard, creating reports, and we'll get to do that when we get to Power BI. So now we are done with the introduction and we are into Excel. So the good thing is that we actually talked about Excel in the previous class, and we did a couple of things and all of that. So what is Excel? You all already know that Excel is like a spreadsheet. There are different kind of spreadsheets widely used. The major two that are widely used are Excel and then Google Sheets. There are many hundreds of other sheets. Even some offices or some companies, some big companies can also develop their own worksheets or spreadsheets, sorry. They can also develop their own, like I remember when I was working with Port Harcourt Electricity Distribution Company in Port Harcourt, Nigeria. We used to enter a lot of data then because, you know, is an energy company, electricity company, that almost everybody uses electricity in their house. So their customer base is really big. Like the customer base is so big. So we used to get a lot of data, customer data, transaction data, meter numbers, and all that. So we'll be entering it. So they had their own type of Excel or spreadsheet that they use, you know, so we're using it. So some companies can have their own, but the widely used one that you'll always meet at first is Excel or Google Sheets. Then that is it about what is Excel. So we all know what Excel is. It's a spreadsheet that is used for storing or manipulating numbers, data, storing data sets, performing calculations on them, and a whole lot of things that we'll get to find out when we proceed in these lectures or in this class. So uses of Excel in data analytics. What do you use Excel for? Just like I mentioned, it is to analyze your data. You can actually do everything as a data analyst with Excel from gathering your data. You can do your data entry on Excel, like we are going to do here. We're going to do data entry here. You can do your data entry on Excel. Like if, for example, I tell everybody here now to introduce themselves. And then everybody, Kiki talked about Dan, Jonathan, Kindiwi. Everybody now introduced themselves, told us their name, their country, their phone number, their age, their career, and all of that. So each person that is talking, we're going to be entering it in Excel. We'll put the name, the this, just like we saw in that data set. I think someone is chatting. Okay, great. That's great. Okay. Yeah, that's good to give insight on data exactly. So that is the use of Excel in data analytics. You use it to do your data entry. You can use it to clean your data. You can use Excel to do data cleaning, like in a whole lot of way. Because if for example, that place that we're supposed to have names, and you now go and have a number there or age, we can just go there and remove the age, delete the age, and type the name of the customer that is supposed to be there. You've cleaned the data. That's how simple data cleaning is. But you have advanced tool that you can use to do that actually. And Excel also have it. It is called Power Query. But Power Query is more popular in Power BI. When we get to Power BI, we'll explore Power Query. But Excel also has it. Just that it can get slow sometimes. You know, Excel is actually not a data cleaning tool, but We can also clean data in Excel. We can visualize our data in Excel. Even though Power BI and Tableau and Looker Studio, all those ones are designed, they are the perfect tool for visualization, but Excel can also do it. You can create your pivot tables in Excel and do your visualization, create your charts, and create a full-blown dashboard in Excel. It is also very possible. Then basic interface. So this was your assignment, right? You were supposed to understand Excel, all the basic interface. You're supposed to know your home, all the tabs, all the ribbons there. You're supposed to not really master them, but at least know them so that when we start using them, you won't be confused. So, of course, your ribbon, your workbook, I think I mentioned workbook last time. The entire row, the entire sheet itself is a workbook. Why worksheets are the pages, the several pages that you have on Excel. So you can have as many worksheets inside one workbook, right? Then we talked about cell. I showed you cells, I showed you rows, and I showed you columns, which I'm still going to show you when we get when we just in a short time we're going to get to the practical shortly. Just bear with me. But I want you to understand this theory very well before we jump into practical. Okay. So the next thing is, I don't know, this thing is hanging. I don't know. Okay. So now the next thing is basic operations and navigations. So what can you really do in Excel? You can create a new workbook. You know how to create a new workbook. It's just by launching your Excel. Automatically, once you launch Excel, a new workbook has been created. All you have to do is just to save it, like go to save, save, rename it, like, sorry, let me take some water. Go to save and save that workbook with the name you want to save it, and make sure the file type is what? Excel format, which is XLSX. Once you save that, you've created a new workbook. Then you start to do whatever I want to do in the different worksheets that you've also created. So you know how to save your file. I'm still going to show, I think I did that last time, but I'm still going to show you how to open new file and all that. Then navigating different cells. To navigate different cells is just by using the arrow, your arrow buttons, your mouse. You can use your mouse, you can use your key, your arrow keys to navigate around different cells, like your mouse, literally. And I think I want to let you know that we have some wireless mouses that we're going to be giving out to some of you that are performing well. Some of you that are doing your assignment, there's reward though. Don't think that there's no reward. And those of you that are not doing your assignment, that's punishment. Okay. So we're going to be giving out some some wireless rechargeable mouses and of course mouse pads to some of you. Then basic formatting, you know, your font, your color. These are part of the things you did in your assignment, right? Then data entry and the basic data types. Data entry and basic data types. I think let me go to Excel so that we can understand this thing well. Data entry and basic data types. So this is my Excel. So this is a workbook, right? This is a workbook. Everything here is inside one sheet, worksheet. So I'm going to cancel this and I'm going to launch Excel from scratch. I don't want to save, then I'm going to just launch. So to launch your Excel is very simple. Just double tap on this thing and it will launch. Then when your Excel launches, this is how it launches. Down here, you can see all the older work that you've done, everything you've done in the past. You're going to see it down here. This is like history. You can easily open any of them if you want to go back to them. Please, who's writing on my distance? Stop writing, please. Now, Kihara, stop. Oh. Ihara, please stop. Oh, stop. I don't like it. Stop writing on my screen. It's disturbing our work. All right. You are still writing more. Kihara, please, can you stop writing? All right. So this is when you come here, you can access all the older work you've done before. Then you can also open a template with all these ones, depending on what you want to do. If you want to take a tour, you can click here. If you want to get started with formulas, you just want to do formulas, you can do here. If you want Power Query, you can do here and all of that. So, but most of the times you'll be starting a blank sheet. So you click on this blank sheet. Here you can open a new file. Here you can open from your system. If you already have a data set that you want to open, you can open it from here, or you can just go to the data set straight up and double click on the data set. It's to open here in Excel. But we are going to open a blank sheet, and this is how a new worksheet looks like. This is a new worksheet, right? This is a complete worksheet. It's brand new, and it doesn't have a name. You can see it is book 1 here at the top. The name is book 1. I believe all of you can see my screen. Can see my screen, right? Okay. Exactly. So this is a book. This is a book, a workbook. No. This Mr. Barno Isaac. A workbook is a collection of worksheets. Yes, you're right. That's exactly what it is. So this is a workbook. This entire space you're seeing here, everything here is a workbook. It's like your book now, your exercise book, here. Then inside the exercise book, you have different pages. Those pages now are these sheets, different sheets. Like you have different sheets in your exercise book. So inside this workbook, we have different sheets. Sheets 1, sheets 2. You can create as many sheets as you want. You can just click on this to add a new sheet, right? So now this workbook is not saved yet. It is, you can see the name here is book 1 because it is the first book that we are opening for today. So the first thing you need to do is to rename your book, to give it a name so that you can know, and to save it in your system so that you can know where you saved it and the name you saved it with. So you always save your workbook with the name of the project you're working on, all right? So to save it, all you need to do is just to come to File and click on File. You can see everything that we saw before, right? So you can go to Save or Save As. So these two is the same thing, but save will just save it straight. If you're already working on that project, to just save it straight without asking you to give it a name. But since we are saving it for the first time, it may ask us to put the name. But Save As will always ask you to put the name, choose where the location you want to save it or the directory and all of that. So here, it will ask you where you want to save it. You want to save it on your PC or on a browser or whatever. You can browse any location you want to save it, but if you browse, it's going to bring you here. So do you want to save it on your desktop, on your download, on your Dell, on anywhere? If these are folders, I believe you all know what is folders, right? Folders in your system. So let's say I want to save it on my desktop. I'll click on my desktop. Then it will now bring, this is my desktop. All the folders and files on my desktop are here. If I want to save it in any particular file, maybe a file that I named Data Afric, you can see Data Afric here, right? I will now select that file, double click on it, it will open. This is now inside the file, inside the folder, right? That I want to save it. Then here, it is already in the format, Excel format, which is XLSX. Then all I need to do is just to clean the name there and put the name that I want to save it with. Even if I clean this extension, no problem. It will, before saving it will automatically give it the extension. So let's say I want to save it as data entry class. Good. That is what I want to save it with, and that's all. Save as type. The type is already XLX, is already Excel format. But if you want to save it as CSV, you choose CSV. If you want to save it as PDF, but we are not interested in that. We just want to leave it as this one, which is Excel format. Then I'll save. Good. Now you can see the name has changed to that thing that we named it. So we now have our workbook ready to start working. Now we already know everything here, the tabs, the ribbon. So I believe we all know everything here already. And then here we know that these are columns. We can use this to form our columns. We can use this to form our rows, right? Good. So this is exactly everything you need to know about Excel. So let us start with entering data. What is data entry really? Maybe we should, now that we understand everything here, maybe we should go back to our slide and finish it before we come back here. But remember that these are different cells, and each of these cells have a name, right? Each of them have their name. This one, the name is G4, right? This one, the name is D2. It is D2 because it is in the D column and the row 2. Where they intersect is the name of that cell. If I come here, the cell here is what? R18. So who can tell me the name of this cell where I am, where I just wrote my name on a cell? Who can tell me the name of the cell where my name is, please? Someone should tell me. Okay. J11, that's great. That's amazing. I clap for you because she got it. So it is in J11. So that's it. So if you want to write, if you want to write on any cell, all you have to do is just click on that cell and then start writing. Whatever you want to write, you can write numbers, you can write letters, you can write characters. As you can see, you can write anything at all that you want to write. All you need to do is just to click on it. Once you click on it, it will start writing, and you can delete as well. Okay, so you can write anywhere, you can start writing anywhere and not anywhere you like. All right, so let me quickly go back and finish up this slide, and we can come back to start writing. So data entry and basic data types. So let's start with data types. Let's start with data types. What is Excel data type? So when you hear data type, it simply talk about, it refers to the different kind of data type that you can enter and work with in a worksheet. Understanding data type is essential because it determines how data is stored, how it is processed, and how it is analyzed. So data type means, just like when you go to the bank, if you go to the bank and you want to ease yourself, you wanted to use the restroom, then they will direct you to where the restroom is. When you get into the restroom, you're going to see two doors. Two doors. One of the door will say male, the other door will say female. So it is now you that will decide what you are and which one to use. If you're a male, you go to the male door. If you're a female, if you're a male and you enter the female door, what you see there, you will not like it. And if you're a female, you enter the male door, what you see in there is between you and your God. So the bank has already defined the type of people that should enter each of the door. This is exactly what data type is. Remember, we are going to store our data in different rows and columns. So for each column, before you put any data into any column, can you still hear me, please? I'm seeing that my internet is... Can you still hear me? Can you still hear me? Please confirm if you can hear me. Okay, great. Thank you. So data types are the kind of information that should be entered into each column. You cannot just go and type anything you like in a column. Did you see that data set that I opened? You can see that everything was structured. The places where numbers were, you see numbers there. The places where you're supposed to put ID, other ID, customer ID. The places that you're supposed to put customer name, it was only customer names that were there. The reason why it is arranged like that is because of data type, because you're maintaining data type. So what are these data type? What are the different kind of data type we have? Let's look at them. The very first type is, I don't know, please bear with me. Okay. Now, the different type of data, number one is your numbers. That is the number one data type, is called numbers, numeric data type. So numbers are your numbers, normal numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if you have a column that is supposed to have maybe the serial number of that your record or that your data, you have number 1, number 2, number 3. That column will contain only numbers, number 1, number 2, number 3. You must maintain number that you cannot go there and put, if you're putting, and number 1, like numeric letter, like number 1, that is the alphabet, the numeric 1 is different from when you now spell alphabet, what is it called? O-N-1, O-N-E. You cannot write 1, 2, like 2 figure, 3 figure, 4 figure. Then if you want to write 5, you go and write F-I-V-E. It's not allowed, because 1 as figure 1 is different from 1 letter 1, O-N-E. They are different data types, so they cannot be in the same column, right? So numbers are used to represent numeric values. They are used for calculation. So the reason why you must maintain them, if you want to maintain figures, if you want to write numbers and letters in that column, you want to write O-N-E1, T-W-O2, T-H-R-E-3, F-O-U-R-4, then make sure you maintain it like that to the end. If you want to write figure 1, figure 2, figure 3, make sure it is like that, because there's a reason. At the end of the day, you may want to use it to do calculations, you may want to use formulas on them, or you may want to use functions on them. Now, imagine if you have large number of data and then you have all this thing mixed up, mixed up in numbers and figures and letters. You will not be able to do your calculation if you want to do calculation in that row, in that column, sorry. So if you're supposed to enter amount for products in that column, make sure it is amount, because you may have to calculate the total amount for all the products or the total profit that was made at the bottom, like at the bottom ending of the column. You may need to quickly populate the total number of people that visited, or the total number of profit, the total profit that was made, or the total number of sales that were made. So because you maintained numbers, so you're not going to have issues, right? Great. Now, the next one is it can include integers. So we are still going to talk about integers, decimal, currency, percentage, but just know that your numbers, all of these things are into your numbers. They are still classified as numbers, because you could have money like currency, $20, $50, all of them are still, you can still perform calculations, like calculate the total profit that was made, or the total amount that was spent, or the total money that was realized. So your integers, your decimals, your currency, all of them are under numbers, right? I believe we understand numbers, right? Please just give me a yes if you understand numbers very well. So great. Now let's proceed to the next data type. The next one is called text. It can also be called strings, but it is called text. So you can see that some column in that data set contained names, city, country. That country now, you have USA, you have Ghana, you have Kenya, you have Canada, you have United Kingdom. Those are letters. Whenever you write A, B, C, D in a column, it is seen as letters, right? So letters are letters. If a column is supposed to contain letters, let it be letter. Let it be letters, okay? That is the number, the data type. The data type is called text or strings. You cannot put the name of a person, then on the next column, the next row, you now put the age of the person. No. You must arrange them in rows and in columns. A column must contain text, names. If you want them to contain names, if you want it to contain location, it must be location. So they represent any combination of characters. So you can have even words, you can have sentence, you can have labels, you can have my name is Chris. You can have a column that you can write comment, like in your assignments. You have a column where you can comment. So that comment can contain sentences that are longer. Meanwhile, some columns where you're supposed to write just your name contain just words. It could be just one word, that's your name, Christopher. It could be Chris, it could be Jonathan, it could be Jonathan Happiness. There are two words in one. So text entries are stored as string. So the text type, the data type is string. It will be stored as string. When we get to Excel, I'll show you what the string means. Then even numbers entered as text. So you can actually enter numbers as text in a cell when you put apostrophe. All right. Once you put apostrophe on a number, it automatically turns to text. It is no longer a number. Excel will begin to see this rule applies to Excel. This rule applies to Power BI, and this rule also applies to both Python. It applies to Power BI as well, and SQL. So once you put a hyphen, either double quotes or single quotes, on a number, it automatically becomes a string. Please go ahead, Mr. You have a question? Okay. Okay, go ahead. You can unmute. Cindy, please go ahead. Cindy, are you there? Hello, Cindy, unmute yourself, please. Okay, I think it could be a mistake. She's raising up her hand, so let me lower it. So that is it.
Hello?
Okay, go ahead.
Yes, I have a question here. I didn't know that on the cell you can't put the numbers. You have to change it to the text so that it can be a number. It can be displayed as the number that you put in. Like when you put the ID, if you didn't put it in text, it can't be displayed as the ID number.
The ID, you mean the ID?
Sorry?
Okay. Okay, are you talking about number or text?
I'm talking about numbers.
Okay, numbers, yeah.
Yes, when you go to where it's written general,
Mm.
you see? Yes, and when you try to text the number, maybe you text the phone number, it can't be
Yes,
displayed as the phone number. You need to change it to text.
in Excel, right?
Yes.
Okay, don't worry. When we get to Excel, when we go, just in a minute to get to Excel, then I can show you. Maybe you can explain it better. I will type it there so that we can handle the question. Okay, is that okay
Okay,
by
thank
you? All right.
okay, thank you.
So let's proceed. So let's go ahead. Excel data type. So the third one, which is the final one for now, we have many other ones. We have array, we have different type of data, okay? But these are the popular ones that you're going to be meeting on a daily basis. The numbers, the text, and then the dates. These are the most popular ones. You have other ones like your logic, your yes, your true or false, all that. So, but the date and time, you're going to be meeting dates on almost every data that you're going to be working on. If it's a transactional data, you're going to be seeing dates when that order was placed. If it is a health data, you're going to be seeing dates when the data was entered or maybe when the events happened. If it is a logistic data, you're going to see dates when the order was picked up and when it was delivered. So dates is something you're going to be seeing a lot in Excel. All right. So this is like generally the format or the way the numbers are, the way you can, I don't know if you're seeing, this thing is blocking. So this is generally how, okay, let me remove that. This is generally how the whole data types with the examples. So you have the data type, you have description and the example. So you have your number. I just try to summarize it here, including the ones I didn't talk about. So I told you that the popular ones are the number, the text, number, text, date, and time. Then Boolean is just like when you have yes or no. So you hardly meet this type, even though it's sometimes, but it's very rare. Then you also have your error, then you have your arrays and all those. So, but the popular ones are these ones. You have your number, you have numeric data used in calculation. Example is like your 1, 2, 3, your 4, 5. It could be, now a number will have the integer, will have the floating numbers, all right? And we'll have the decimal number. But you don't have to worry about these ones because you can meet them in, I think they are popular when you get to Power BI or Python. So when it is just a whole number like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 to like 100, those are integers. They don't have any decimal place like points. But when you now have 45.67, it is called floating numbers. Okay. So you use floating numbers when you're talking about money. I mean, like $100 and 50 cents, when you talk about 20 naira, 50 kobo, something like that. So text is your textual data or label, like when you say hello, when you say sales, when you say Chris. Then date value is stored numerically, like date. This is how. So Excel uses the European date format, where you have the date first, the month, and then the year. The date format that we use, the British date format, is the one we use in Africa here, where you have the day, the month, and the year. All right. But here you have, I think this is SQL. This is how SQL stores data, but Excel can also accept the normal. Okay, when we get there, I'll show you shortly. Don't worry. Then you have your time. So the time is when the event occurred. It's just pick the time, 12:30 p.m. So in most sales data, you're going to have the time, a time column when the thing happened. But most of the data you're going to be working with, it is going to be called date time. So the date and the time will be joined together. So you just have the date, then at the back of the date, you have the time. Or most times they may not even need the time. The date is enough, except if it is a sensitive information or some kind of important information that need to tell when that event happened. Then you can have the time attached to the date. It will become date time, not just date or time. Most times they join the date and time, because you can't have a column that tells just only time and all of that. So let's proceed. The next thing we have here is Excel data entry. So let's quickly talk about data entry. Data entry is involve inputting data into Excel in an organized way. Of course, you need to understand the basics and best practice for effective data entry in Excel. So data entry is just simply typing in something in Excel. But while typing, it's just not typing randomly, but maintaining a particular structure, or you have to be organized, entering data in an organized way into Excel. All right. So like, look at this one, or even the previous table that we worked on, we just saw now. We can see that the data were entered carefully and they are organized. Here that you have dates, everything under here is dates, and the date has to maintain a particular format. You can see that we have the year first, then hyphen, you have the month, hyphen, then you have the dates. Even if you have 1 billion data in this Excel sheet, all of them will maintain this steady format. There's another format where you can have this hyphen now can be backward slash. Yeah, it can be a backward slash. Then all of them will maintain that backward slash. And you can see that in this date column, it is only date that is there. Going down, no matter how long it goes, it is only date. So this data is entered in an organized format that you can easily spot. In the product, you can see widget A, widget B, organized. In the quantity, you can see 10, you can see 5. So now, the data type, can you observe data type that we talked about here? That date is a data type here, and everything here is a date. The product data type is text, as you can see. Then the quantity data type is numbers. You can see that they are numbers. Everything here is going to be number. The price data type is number, but actually a floating number because it has this decimal. Is a number. The total, of course, is a number. How did they get the total? Is by multiplying the quantity by the price. You get the total, right? And that is it. So now, let's go back to Excel because we need to do all of this in practical and see everything for ourselves. So let me go to Excel and show you. I think that's where we are going to end. So now this is Excel. Let's start entering data. Let's do data entry. So when you're entering data, you have to always start from here or wherever you want to start. There has to be a reason why you want to start where you want to start. So let's say we want to record attendance now. We want to take the name of the students. We want to take the age of the students. We want to take the class of the students that score in a test and then they score in exam. So before you start, you have to have what we call the column name, like the column headers. So the column header here will now be name, or we want to start with serial number. So you just type it normally. Remember how to type on a cell. When you just click on that cell, you can now start typing. So next, we want to have the student name. Then next, we want to have the student's class, the class. Then here we want to have the student's age. Then here now we want to have the student's address or location. Let's call it location. Aha. You can see how I'm entering this data now. I'm just typing it with my keyboard. That's how you enter data. You just come to the column. Then now let me add something so that it will be longer. So I want to edit this name. I finished typing and I've gone out of the cell, but I want to come back to it. All I need to do is just to tap twice. 1, 2. Once I type twice, the cursor will come back there. I can now add what I want to add. So I want to say student name. That's what I want to type here. Then you can see that it's now longer than the cell. It's now longer than the cell. So this student name, the name has hidden inside. And I'm now seeing this one. So let me come here and type student score. Student score. So it is longer than the cell. I'll come out here. It is not taking, but it's not actually on the second cell. If I want to type here, I can still come here and type here. I can type students exam. Once I come out here, I'll be seeing exam, student exam. So how do you now handle this thing so that you'll be seeing the full information? I want to be seeing here, I want to be seeing student name. So what you need to do is just to bring your cursor up here. Once you see this black arrow, you can now press your mouse down and drag it to wherever you want to drag it to. Once you drag it here, you can now see the name. It's not enough yet. I'll drag it again until I'm okay. You can see it will now adjust to that student's name. Do you understand? But this is one way of doing it. This is like a manual way of doing it. I can now do for all of them. But imagine if I have a lot of data, like plenty data from maybe Jumia or Amazon. Let's even use Amazon because Amazon get millions of orders every day. And you're the data analyst there. You cannot come and start doing one like that, right? So another second way of doing it, I'm showing you 3 different ways. Now, the first one is doing it manually. Just drag it and drop. Go to this one, drag it, drop, do for all of them. So when you do it like that, let me put student age here. If I say student's age. So now when I do this one, student age, if I do all of that, what you'd realize is that the sizes are not the same. This one now is bigger than this one. I will not get even size. So that is an error. I cannot use that method because it's manual, right? So now let's do the second method, which is to make it automatic for each of the cell. Not really automatic for everything, but each of the cell. Instead of dragging it like that, I can just come here. Once I see that this arrow, once I come here and see that the arrow is now, what is it called? Plus, is this plus black sign? I will double tap on my right key of my mouse twice, 1, 2. It automatically adjusts to the size of what I have in that cell. You see, this time I did not drag. If I come here, let me do it again, undo. So if I just come here, once it turns to plus, I'll double tap. It has adjusted. If I come here, I'll double tap. It has adjusted. You see that? So but I have to do it manually for all of them, which is going to be very tedious if I have a lot of data that I'm working on. So how do we now do it so that it will now do all of them once? I don't have to do it one by one. So that's what I want to show you now. So what you simply do when you have all of your data spread like this, just come here, locate this edge. Can you see this edge here? Just this angle. Once you tap on it once, it will highlight the entire workbook. So it has highlighted all your data at once. Let me do it again. I'll come to this on top of this one, this edge here. I'll just tap it once. It will highlight all of them. Then I'll just go to one of these things, just any of them, even if it's not the one that has anything. Even if I come to this one here, it will work. Anyone that I like, but make sure it's on top of this place where you have alphabets. Just come to one. Once it is, just double tap it twice. 1, 2. It will automatically adjust all of them for you. Then if you want to really make it bigger, you can drag it by yourself, anyone that you want to, but it will automatically adjust it for you. So let me add students to all of them. But no need, since I already have student name, so we now know that it is student class, student age, student location, student score, student exam. So do you all understand what I did, please? I want to hear your response. Do you understand what I did? Did you get what I did? Can I proceed? All right, great. So that is how to do it. You just simply double tap and it will adjust. So the next thing is that, remember, this is the column header, right? This is the header of the column. So now I want to make them bold. I want them to be bold. So I'll just come here. Once I'm on this cell, I'll come and click on bold. It will now bolden it for me. I'll come on this one again. I'll click on bold. It will bolden it for me. But I cannot be doing it 1-1, right? There has to be a way of doing it automatically instead of coming to do 1-1-1. Imagine if I have so many. So I'll just come here, highlight this place, and then I'll just come and bolden everything. Will bolden. In fact, if I even want to add color, if I highlight it, I can just come here and add color. That place will be colored. All right. But I do not want to add color to the background. So now what you notice is that because I selected here, it has highlighted this thing till the end, like till the end. It has highlighted it till the end of this sheet. So even if I come here now and type anything, maybe city, student city, it will be bolding. If I come here and type anything, students country, it will be bolded because I have bolded the entire sheet. So this is not a good practice because you may want to use this other side for other things, right? So you don't really want to bolden all of them. So what you need to do is just to select only the side that we need for now and bolden it. So I'll just come to the first one and click on it. Then I'll press down my control, and drag it to the point where I want. I will stop and bolden it. So I've only boldened only the part that I need. If I come here and type anything, it is not boldened. Do you get what I did? So I'll delete this. So now I can even expand this part. If I want it to be bigger, I can expand it to be a little bigger. Then maybe I want to now color the back. I want it to be, maybe I just want to put paparazzi to make it look cool. I will do this. I can even bring them to the middle. I can bring them to the middle like this if I want to. You can use this your tool. I hope you all know how to use all. I think this was your assignment now, so you can play around with this thing so that your work will be fine. It will be finer than other students' own. So you can see what we have now. It is very good. I can even decide to add a column. Maybe I want to put a border. I'll come to this one, open it. You can see if I put the border down here, it will be down. You can see it down here. If I want to put it round, I can come here and put it round everywhere we border. You can see the border is round. If I want to I can play around with my work to make sure my work is fine. So you can see all the places you can put the border around. You can put it like this. It will now be border all through. All right. So If you don't want border, you can come here and say no border. It will remove all the borders. So now, sorry, let's start entering the, so here I want to have one. Sorry. So here, we want to have the serial number of the student. So we are actually examining for, let's say we are examining for, I don't know who is writing on my listing. So let's say we are examining for 20 students. For 20 students, so I'll come here and put the serial number. This one is 1. Then this one is 2, right? Now, I cannot come and start typing 1 to 20. Since I already have 1 and 2, I've told Excel that this is the pattern I want to use. Look at what I've done, and we continue from where I stopped. So it will say, okay, you did 1, you did 2. That means the next one should be 3, 4, 5. Then once I just come here, I will just come here. Look at, if I come to this first one, I'll highlight the 2 of them. Then I'll come here. Once it turns to this black plus sign, I'll drag it down to wherever I want it to stop. I'll get to 20, I'll stop. It will do the rest of the work for me. So I wanted 20, but it stopped at 19, right? I'll come again, just continue. I want it to be 20. I'll come down here. It has added 20 for me, right? So this is it. Excel is very smart to know anything you do, it will pick it immediately and automate it and do the rest for you. You don't have to start typing 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Now look at, if I come here, let me do this. If I had come here now and say, okay, what will be here is 3. No, what's going to be here is 2. Or let me even start from 2. Maybe what I want here is 4. I want 4. Now, let's see what Excel will do. It has seen the pattern, right? Then I go down. Let me bring it up to 10. Can you see? It will change. You say 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, because it has seen that I'm moving in this direction of even numbers. Can you see what it did? It will now follow like that. Even if I want it up to 1 million, it will follow like that. All right, so this is how smart it is. So what we want to do here is actually from 1 to maybe 15. Great. So let's say the student name is Happiness. Then this one is Dan. Then this one is Chris. Then this one is Matthew. Then this student is Joseph. Then this student is Juliet. Then this one is Cindy. And this student is Amos. This student. So what I'm doing now is data entry, just by clicking and typing in what you want to type. So this student is Mr. Joe. This student is Akim. This student is Mr. Can we have name of people in our class so that we can have our students' names? We don't want to have people. Okay, you're not seeing the, are you not seeing the screen? Are you, please, what are you seeing? Are you seeing my screen? Someone is not seeing my screen. Someone is not seeing my screen. I have to. Oh, sorry. I didn't even know. So sorry, please. Let me even off my camera, safe. So sorry. You should have told me this for long now. And this thing is being recorded. Can you see the Excel screen now? Are you seeing the main Excel screen? Okay, good. All right, great. Thank you for that, Mr. Karin. So we have Karin. We have what is our student's name? What's our student's name here? So we have Aribiton, yeah, Mr. Aribiton. We have Aribiton. Great. Then we have Daily. Let's use Daily. And then finally, this has to be a female. One of our female students, please give us your name. Christiana. Okay, Marco, Christian Marco. Yeah, we use that. Great. So we now have all the names of our students. So the next thing, we want to give a little space to this serial number. So I'll just drag this a little so that it will shift. Good. Then the class where they are, maybe you're in primary. Oh, sorry, SS. No. I think these are university students now. Cannot be in SS. Or cannot be in secondary school, right? So let's say this is year 1. Aha. So he's in year 1. This person is in year 2. In year 3, actually. This person is in year 4. It's a 5-year course, engineering. This one is in year 5. So this person is in year 3. The person is in year 1. Let's maintain the same data type. So let's remove the space so that it will not conflict. So this person is in year 4. This is year 3. This is year 1. This is year 4. This is year 2. This is year 4. This is year 1. And this is year 5. So this is great. So now, this is just data entry. This could be that maybe I want all of you to give me your name so that I can know, let me show you why data type is very important. Maybe I want all of you now to give me maybe your Chris. I want all of you to now give me your name and then give me your location. So let's say that Dan is from USA. Let's say that Dan is from USA. Then Chris is from USA as well. Then Matthew is from USA. And then Joseph is from Nigeria. Then Juliet is from Canada. Cindy is from USA. Then Amos is from USA. And then Jude is from Canada. And this person is from Nigeria. For example, I just want to show you something. So if, for example, I wanted to know where all of my students are coming from, so that I'll be able to know maybe all of them, if most of them are from the US and they used to be maybe for our own 8 p.m., it could be their own 1 p.m., 1 p.m., yeah. So I want to know their time so that I can know the best spots, because by 1 p.m. they should be at work. They won't have time to come for lectures. So I want to know their best time. So I just want to know where they come from. So now, if you now work on this thing as a data analyst, at the end of the day, you can go and tell my manager, you can see here that how many of my students that are from USA, 1 student, 2 students, 3 students are from USA. So at a glance, even though you can just use your visualization tools like Power BI to quickly just tell you how many students are from each location. But for USA, you can see clearly that there are 3 students from USA. So you now go and tell your manager that you have 3 students from USA, but in the actual sense, because your data is wrong, because you did not use the right data type, or your data is unclean, because your data is not clean, you're going to miss out on some information. USA here, this thing is also USA. It's as good as this US here now is USA. So you must clean it by changing it to what? USA. You must come here and clean this one. United States is the same thing as USA, because you're using USA, so you must use USA here. At the end of the day, you now see that you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It was 5 students that are from USA and not 3 students. So imagine if you're working on a large data and you're not able to clean the data before starting. You end up giving a very, very wrong analysis to your manager, and then you end up losing your job. You see? Okay, level. All right. I agree with you. So let's use level here. You're right. So I think you understand what I mean, right? What I'm trying to explain here. Okay, good. So you have to always be careful. That's why you see me when I was typing this, and I made sure it has the same distance. So next, let's talk about the age. This person is 32. This person is 21. This person is 17. This person is 23. This person is 40. This person is 23. This person is 24. This person is 32. Again, this person is 31. This person is 29. This person is 25. This person is, one more time is running. No, it's already 10. Okay, we'll round off. Let me just round off. This person is great. So the location, maybe this person is in Nigeria. This person is in US. This person is in Canada. This person is in Nigeria. This person is in Ghana. Sorry. This person is in Nigeria. And so on and so forth. Let's not just waste. Anyway, let's finish it. Maybe this may be the only thing we'll do today, then we'll close. But our time is already gone. This person is in USA. This person is in Canada. This person is in... Sorry, if I'm not mentioning your country, sorry. You are just doing a simple data, this thing, okay? If I'm not mentioning the country where you are, I'm sorry about that. It doesn't mean that you don't exist. We see you, okay? Maybe next time in our next data, we can put your country. Then student score, maybe this person score in the test, they wrote a test. This is 23, this is 13, this is 15, this is 24, this is 25, this is 12, this is 23, this is 14, this is 16, this is 17, this is 23, this is 12, this is 16. Great. Then the exam, maybe 45, 34, 35, 62, 15, 5. Imagine this guy is an Oludo. It's called 5. Then this is 45, 23, 67. This is a very intelligent student. This is, I hope he's Cindy. Cindy is the intelligent student here. All right, so great. How do you see this data now? We have successfully entered data into our Excel worksheet. So you can see how easy and simple it is for us. At a glance, we have structured the data. It's very clean, it's well organized. And go ahead, Mr. Dan, please go ahead quickly. Or let's just round off. We'll have like 5 minutes for questions. So this is our data is well clean. Now you can even perform aggregation on it. You can even perform aggregation like to add up. Now you want to see the total score of the whole students. You can come here and do total. You want to add everything here. So you can do that by saying 45 plus, you can be typing 45 plus 34 plus, it will not make sense. So all you have to do is just to come here and do equals to. Then use your sum, aggregate, come here. Now you want to enter. This is what you want to sum, right? You can come here and collect everything like this and then sum it to give you the total. Then you want to bolden it and make it bold. We'll still get to how to do your calculation maybe in our next class, but I just wanted to show you in case you're doing money here, okay? So this is how to do this, and it is very, very nice. So now let's put it in a table. So we want to put everything in a table. We'll just come here and then come to your table, and then you want to wrap it in a table like this. But you don't want it to have the inner, okay, you want it to have it, you can see, we'll now have a table. And you can even color the table if you want. You can color it, come here to the background. Maybe you want to give it a very light color like this, or even this one. You can see, color your table. And it's looking nice. Great. So it's already 10 p.m. and we are supposed to end by 10. So let's end here. Then we'll take some questions. All right. So let's take questions now. Yeah, go ahead, Cindy. Unmute yourself. Please unmute yourself.
Hello, sir.
Cindy, how are you?
I'm good. Yes, sir. I want you to help me with the question I asked previously.
Okay. Ask the question again.
Yes, sir.
Just tell me
So
what
now
number should I write? What number should I write here?
you see there on the headings, just write maybe contact numbers.
I should write 1, 2, 3, right?
No, maybe you write contact numbers and maybe you write for like 10 numbers.
Can you be audible? I can't hear you really. I should write 2 numbers.
No, maybe 10 numbers.
10.
And let me give you these 10 numbers. Hello?
I can hear you.
Yes. I said, let me give you these 10 numbers.
Okay, give me.
Maybe you write 076
70.
0. Let you start with 0. No.
Okay,
Start with
0.
0. 73
Uh-huh.
19
Mm-hmm.
5.
Mm-hmm.
Then can you please press enter for me?
Yeah?
You see that the 0 is now removed.
Okay. Yes. Okay, let me write 0 here and see if it will be removed. It is not removed. So, is that what you're asking? Why the 0 is removed?
Yes.
Because, okay, let me write 20. What number is this? Eh? Call this number for me.
20.
20, right? 20, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Call this one for me. What number is this?
020.
Is it a number? Does it make sense? Excel has a lot of sense. Anything that doesn't make sense, it will correct it and give you what makes sense. Do you get? It does not. What is the meaning of this now? It's not, it doesn't make any sense writing 0, except when you're recording an observation that you need to add 0 to the, but Excel feels that this number you've written here is still the same thing as, like 020 is still the same thing as 0. So if you're writing a phone number now, your phone number, your country phone number is supposed to start with 23. For example, Nigeria is 23. Then, okay, this is my number. This is my phone number. Let me write it. 090 507, no, 40461807. This is my phone number, right? But if I'm recording it now in a cell, this is what I'm going to write. I'm going to put my country code, which is 234. Then I'm going to remove the first 0 and put 9040461807. When you dial this number, it's going to get me. You're calling me without that first 0. So the 0 doesn't have any significance. So if you want to retain the 0, you can put plus in front and then put the 0. Then Excel, be still, it doesn't make any difference. Unless you put negative. Excel knows that negative means something, right? Excel means that
Yes.
negative means something, but positive doesn't mean anything. So it will retain negative because negative means something. Do you get
Because
that?
when you go there on general, just go there on general.
So if you
You
want
see?
to put this thing, what you do is to put it inside a hyphen. So put your 073195. It will retain it like this for you because it is now a string. It is no longer a number. It is now a string. So to hold the string, you have to put that hyphen in front like this. All right.
Okay. Okay.
All right. So please go ahead, Joy. Joy, go ahead.
Hello.
Hi, Joy.
So I have a question because
All right.
today we studied data entry. And
Yeah.
in real life case, or maybe you're already working for a company, is a data analyst, like, is it the data analyst's responsibility to enter the data? Because I feel like as a data analyst, there are other things that you have to do. For example, now, the cleaning, like you mentioned, maybe creating a dashboard, pivot table, all of these things. Do I still have to enter the data on my own, or will the company provide me with raw data?
Yeah, that's a very interesting question. So your job cuts across, remember we talked about data gathering. So if, for example, you're working with Nigerian Population Commission, for example, you're working or any country population and they are doing an election, and then you're supposed to get the data of every voter in every state. Nigeria has 36 states, right? So you're supposed to get the data for the 36 states. So what you need to do is to go to those states, they'll mobilize you, they'll give you enough money to carry you, mobilize people to get data. Everybody will, for each state you go to in Nigeria, if you go to Lagos, you want to get the name of the candidates, the age of the candidate, the location of the candidates in Lagos, their address, their email, and their voter, whatever, in each of. So they will not enter those data for you manually or maybe through a system. If you use a system, it's easier because once they enter it, maybe they scan it, it's going to go straight to the database. Then when you want to do your own job as a data analyst, you now go to the database and query the database and get those data out. But what if they got this thing on a paper and they brought it to you? So when you're working in a company, you may not be the only data person. They may have data entry clerks that they also pay. But if the company is not that big, it's a really, really small company, they will definitely give you those data to sort them out and record them. But in most cases, you're not going to be the one entering the data. They have data entry clerks or staff that will enter data for them. Then they will give you the data sets to work with. But there are some cases when the data has a lot of mistakes. So your knowledge of data entry now is what you use to know that, okay, these people, like there was one health data will work. I once worked for the government of Gambia 3 months ago or so. They were working with they gave us some health data. So we now realized that there were so many errors in the data sets. So those errors were from when they were entering it because they had to go to different communities that are having some chronic diseases, HIV, tuberculosis, and all that to get their data, their health structure, their health, what is it called? Their health status, their road access, their hospital visit, their medical, whatever, their employment status. They got those data manually and then gave it to their clerk to enter it. Then they sent it to us. So when we now saw it, we saw there were so many errors here. We had to contact the clerks to know what they wanted to write here because they made mistakes. They now corrected us and we had to correct it in our own end and continue with our work. So as a data analyst, you have to know all of these things to be prepared for whatever. Like the place I went to do interview some time ago, I am supposed to be the only data analyst there. Like they don't have any other data person. Like I'm doing the work of both data clerk, data analyst, even data scientists. Because sometimes I have to create pipelines for this thing. Sometimes I have to be the one creating database and all that. So you have to be prepared to, even if you're not the one entering data, at least understand what they entered and how they entered it. You get my point? Joy, did you get me? Okay, Joy is gone. We have more questions. I think it's we can now call it a night, right? Are we good? Do we have more questions, please? If you have questions, let me see your hands up. Stop sharing. Stop sharing my screen. I'll stop recording as well.